The influencer marketing industry is on track to reach a staggering $22.2 billion by 2025. In South Africa, the dynamic landscape is undergoing rapid transformation as local brands are gearing up to leverage this growth. A report shows that 60% of brands already investing in influencer marketing are set to increase their budgets by 2024, underscoring the significance of the sector in modern marketing strategies. For more insights on this conversation, we're joined by Albert Makoeng, the MD of Nfinity Influencer Group. Albert, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this evening. Now, can you share some insights on the current landscape of influencer marketing in South Africa and, of course, the opportunities that it presents for those individuals looking to make money through social media?
No, thank you so much for having me on your show, and good evening also to your viewers. Influencer marketing is growing rapidly. Like you mentioned, the stats like a staggering 22.2 billion globally. And South Africa is also growing exponentially. We see a lot of brands, over 60% of marketers that have actually adopted, influencer marketing. The spend continues to increase year on year. In 2024, we're seeing a massive spike in our space, and it's exciting times, I think, because the space allows whether small, medium to large businesses to actually tap into social media and ultimately deliver business results.
And on that point, what are some of these key strategies or tips that you would recommend, especially for SMEs that are looking to expand their presence online in using influencer marketing? Because quite often we see big business being the ones who are able to pay the big money to the big influencers in order for products to start circulating on the digital platforms.
Yeah, great question. I think what it has allowed the space, very different from traditional media, whereby, to shoot an ad will cost you a lot of money, plus also placement of that ad. What social media has done, especially with influencers, you are tapping into their audience for it's their level of authenticity. And because the space now is growing more into more nano influencers, more your smaller influencers, because of their level of authenticity, relatability, especially in a country like South Africa, and more micro influencers drives high engagement. So they give you very cost-effective and economy of scale. Then you can take, performance media or paid media, then you amplify whether you want to drive eyeballs, you want to drive people to add to cart, and ultimately for people to check out. And that's why even for small businesses, they can tap into this. It's just to build a strong social strategy, and then you tap into leveraging on the power of the influencers.
You make mention of nano influencers and micro influencers, and 44% of brands utilize nano influencers, and these are people with a following of between 1 and 10,000. What type of brands look for such people on social media?
All kinds of brands. Most of the campaigns that we run currently, it's truly a dual approach. Nano influencers, you want to drive relatability because you want, for example, for an FMCG brand, you want to talk to millennials, Gen Zs, your older demographics and so forth. And you also want to be relatable even from, ethnic groups, all the way to from an income level, because that relatability then makes you very authentic, because you want someone that speaks in vernac to speak in vernac, drives authenticity, still in the brand tonality, but you want them to be authentic, someone Afrikaans, someone English. And ultimately, you also then use the micro influencers. So the strategy will be the nanos will, you can have so many of them because you are tapping into different communities. And what you want to do is that as a brand is that to increase your share of voice. And when your share of voice increases, you are top of mind, and people, when it's time to purchase product, you are top of mind for them for purchase intent. And then, of course, micro influencers, you buy their level of authenticity and also their levels of engagement, because you tune into their channels because they are a trusted source in terms of giving you information that you need.
So I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, just on average, how much are influencers making online?
If I can tell you, we paid out, not to indulge a lot of numbers, but we paid probably more than 31 million rand. 31 million rands to influencers just in the last 24 months. And of course, it's in different, like some of them, like the nanos, it's a flat rate, but the micros, one micro influencer, I think we pay them just over north of 1 million, and it has become very it has become an industry because you buy these people. Imagine in the olden days, you would tune to different TV stations. So now you are tuning into that influencers channel or to their audience. And some of them with incredible engagement, a lot of brands wants to tap into them. And especially when they, with the tools that we have and that we have developed, you can see in terms of reach, engagement, we got AI also embedded in there, then that can actually then allow brands return on investment.
And I was going to come to that in terms of ensuring the brand's return on investment, what tools are used, and also if the influencers are aware of what they need to do in order to ensure that return on investment.
Yeah, so we have built tool sets. I think, as much as it's a growing industry, the issues is around, levels of trust, where the audience sits. So part of us is that we have API integration into the likes of Meta, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and that means that we know where the audience sits, we know what the engagement levels is. We've built AI tools to show you also, that you are not buying board followers. So that's the due diligence that we do as a company, and we've built this tech for the last 10 years. And then most important, we can tell the brand in terms of what the outcomes can be. We'll tell you what the reach will be and potentially how many people we will drive to. Let's say you're driving people to a landing page, how many people? And sometimes if there's also to buy product onto that e-commerce, is then what is the potential return on investment or the return on ad spend?
All right, Albert, thank you so much for that. I'm sure this has been very valuable for those influencers that want to grow their brands in order to grow other brands. Thank you so much for your time and for these insights.